Coming to you live from the Movie Oubliette Theatre, it's the prestigious Moublie Awards. Alright, so it's time to pick our nominations for various great categories. Let's start with favourite quote. Do you have a favourite quote from Willow, Dan? There are quite a few.
There were quite a few. There weren't as many very unique quotes, but there was one. Okay, so they're in this tavern. It's this very dirty, filthy tavern, and Mad Mardigan is dressed as a woman in disguise, and because he's obviously had an affair with some woman, and so the woman's husband comes in, and he's dressed as a woman. And then he goes, oh, there's another woman here. So he goes, he steps up to her and he says,
Wanna breed?
And then Val Kilmer says,
Tempting, but no.
That's my favourite as well.
it's a great line.
Most 80s moment. Is there a definitively 80s moment in Willow?
I find a lot of 80s fantasy and sci-fi, there's always blue lightning everywhere. So there's a scene where the queen is getting struck by lightning, and I just thought, this is like Highlander. This is like a Highlander moment. Just like a big bolt of lightning, blue lightning, and just everything's blue. Yeah, and it's a very such a prevalent thing in a lot of fantasy. In the final climactic scene, there's always thunder and lightning. No matter what, there's always going to be thunder and lightning.
Yeah. I think mine would be the let's stop the movie to do a roller coaster ride on a sled. I think that just seemed to crop up in a lot of 80s movies.
Oh, yeah. That scene was funny because they were just going down the hill and suddenly it looked like the best ski field in the world. And they were just going through all these kind of locales on this beautiful mountain. And I actually thought, are they in the Swiss Alps right now? But no, they were in Queenstown, New Zealand. I should have recognized it. What was your favorite special effect?
My favourite special effect would probably be the morphing scene.
Oh yeah.
I think it's groundbreaking, and I think it has to get a nod just for being the first example of its kind, I think.
Yeah. My favorite special effect is when Willow turns the troll into the two-headed dragon, right. And it just kind of dissolves and becomes just this pile of fur pretty much.
Yeah.
And then all of these tentacle intestines spring out of it and turn it inside out into this goopy ball, and then two little dragon heads emerge from it. I thought that was a pretty amazing effect.
It is, yeah. You don't know where it's going either.
Yeah, I know. I thought, and then suddenly it drops into the water and grows into this giant two-headed dragon. An amazing effect. Was that stop motion or was that like animatronics? How did they even do that?
The initial transformation or the whole?
Yeah, the initial transformation.
Yeah, I think it's a combination. So there's stop motion with the tentacles, then the two-headed thing emerging, I think, is a puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a multi-stage thing. It's very 80s as well. That you see one effect, you cut to Willow's reaction, then you come back and it's changed.
Yeah.
Technique into something else. Yeah, it's a good sequence. The whole Tyrosline sequence is great.
Fantastic.
So best hair.
Apparently everyone was just wearing wigs.
Yeah, even Willow, which surprised me.
Saoirse's hair was just radiant in a cascade of red curls.
Yeah, which means that she looks great when she's holding a Laura Dannon, who is my vote for best hair, just because she's a few-month-old baby and she's got a fulsome head of curly red hair, which apparently was glued on with syrup every day because they couldn't use glue because it would hurt her poor little head. Favorite scene?
Tyrosline scene was so much going on. So that scene was definitely my favorite.
I have a favorite moment, and I don't know what it is. I can't describe why it is, but it's when Shalindria is talking to Willow in the woods. She disappears for a moment, and Willow's sort of prevaricating about whether he wants to be on this quest or not. And all of a sudden, Shalindria reappears, but enormous.
Yeah.
So it's just her face, and it's just advancing through the trees, and there's all this interactive light passing through the trees, and she's staring him down and saying, Elora Danan must survive.
Yeah.
And it's so serious, and it always makes the hair stand up on the back of my head.
Yeah.
I have no idea why. It's a great performance and a great effect, and it really does hammer home, this is important. There's real jeopardy here.
Elora Danan must survive. She must fulfill her destiny and bring about the downfall of Queen Bavmorda, whose powers are growing like an evil plague.
It was a very cool effect as well. So they suspended the actress, and they did the whole music video thing where they play the scene like sped up, and then they slow it down. So everything looks very fluid with her movements.
Yeah, it's a real fantastic fantasy moment, and it always gets me every time I watch it.
I did really like the scene where Willow is battling. It looks like, I don't know, like a coal stand or something, but it's full of bones for some reason.
What is that thing? I don't know where the hell Bavmorda shops for her furniture. That's just crazy.
I know. But it was a very cool effect. Was that stop motion?
I think it is, yeah.
And then it was blue screened on, composited. I thought it was very well choreographed because, again, Warwick had nothing to act in front of, and he does a good job.
Yeah, I think he does well. And finally, sound effect. And as per usual, I have a nomination for worst sound effect.
Yeah, I have a nomination for inexplicable sound effect. So there's a scene where Mad Mardigan is in the crow cage, but they haven't met it. So the Nelwyns are just having a rest at the crossroads, and they've got the baby, and they haven't met Mad Mardigan yet. And then there's this kind of wailing siren sound.
Oh yeah.
What was that? Get the spears!
And it's never explained.
No.
Because suddenly Mad Mardigan's there, and surely he couldn't have made that sound because it sounded like it was coming from like the distance.
Yeah, I was waiting for Obi-Wan Kenobi to turn up.
Yeah, it was very odd because it wasn't a night scene either. It was like a day scene, so it didn't have that creepy like oh it could be a wolf or something. It was just wasn't explained.
Random howling. For me, it's the fact that the Wilhelm scream
is used
3 times.
3 times.
It's fair enough that the
well.
Wilhelm scream is in Lord of the Rings once in each movie. And you think that's fair enough because it's an in-gag. It's a 3-hour movie. It happens once. You go, oh, there it is. But
I have
three
never
times.
in the life of me heard the Wilhelm scream twice in a movie.
Yeah.
Normally once is the quota, you know. It's funny, it's a gag, everyone gets it. But 3 times?
Yeah.
I blame George Lucas for it because I bet he was the instigator for that. Because I mean, it's in all of his films, right? So in all the Star Wars movies, all the Indiana Jones movies. Yeah, so I just blame George Lucas.
Okay. And that's the end of the Moublie Awards.